A guten Erev Shabbos Kodesh is Friday, Parshas Behaloischu, Chuf Sivan, Tuvshim Pai Vuv. On Edge, my name is Gershy Schwarcz, and I'm your host with the news of the last 24 hours. On Edge, Kol Shabbos Kodesh.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.
So Anthropic, the one who designed Claude, this app like Gemini, like ChatGPT, Claude, is calling for a global pause in development for the most powerful AI systems, saying that current models are beginning to show signs of escaping human control. A drone blast near Oman's biggest oil terminal temporarily shook global energy markets. Donald J. Trump is being sued by a woman who says the White House construction on the new ballroom is ruining her morning walks. Vladimir Zelensky is pushing for a face-to-face peace talk meeting with Vladimir Putin. A senior Iranian official told CNN a potential US-Iran deal hinges on Washington releasing $24 billion in frozen Iranian assets. Failure to reach an agreement risks renewed escalation and wider regional conflict. Apple's AirPods could soon get cameras, giving AI the ability to see what you see. All that and way more today on Edge. Only here on Edge. But first, kosher skinny shot. I don't have to tell you, you can continue eating what you want and what you love. You know the famous one where they say, you want to eat bread? I love bread. I also want to continue eating bread. With kosher skinny shot, you can do that. 845-456-8924. Enough of those diets that don't, they say work but never ever works because you find yourself 2 sizes bigger than you expected to be. Kosher skinny shot, that will never happen. And you can also enter a free giveaway by calling my number on 845-671-1775. You press 5, you say kosher skinny shot on Edge, and you enter to win a free raffle. A free month. All right. A drone explosion hit near Oman's main oil terminal today, worrying the global oil market. The blast happened near the Mina Al Fahal port, which handles the country's crude oil exports. Oman temporarily stopped pumping oil onto ships after this blast. Reports say the explosion caused delays in loading oil onto the ships. The port later announced that it is operating normally again and that loading was not affected. Officials have not said who launched the drone or how much damage was actually done. Leaders in Iran's IRGC want to fight another round. Well, they want to go on. They want to continue fighting. Even though the peace talks are still going on, the press also says that Iran's period of resistance had ended, and they now want tougher attacks on the US. This week, the US and Iran still continue to fight in the Middle East, obviously. Iran even targeted several US bases in other Gulf countries, including Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and the UAE. The same conflicts are also happening in the Strait of Hormuz. Now those flashes that you see are actual bombs and drones being sent. Now Iran's Supreme Leader Mujtaba Khamenei claimed that the US and Israel are now suffering from a very heavy blow. But as usual, Trump is denying this and is even saying that it's not a big deal. Trump promised that he will stay in the fight as long as it takes to make sure Tehran never gets a nuclear weapon. He explained that the US will not try to get Iran's highly enriched uranium, or what he commonly calls nuclear dust. He said that it's already buried deep underground under the tunnels that they bombed before already. But Tehran is still sitting on nearly 21,000 pounds of lower enriched uranium. This could be further enriched and used as a nuclear weapon in the future. The International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, also told Iran to report the real state of its uranium. The organization, which is under the United Nations, said that Iran has to keep the Non-Proliferation Treaty Safeguards Agreement. Under this agreement, Iran has to allow it to conduct inspections. The IAEA says that war is not an excuse to keep this information secret. Washington is demanding a new ceasefire deal to be signed in Geneva next week. Trump said his main rule is that the Strait of Hormuz must be opened right away. Iran is trying still to put bombs in the water, mines, and the US is consistently trying to remove them. And now, the United Kingdom, France, are planning to help remove these bombs from the area. But sticking to what he said before, Trump insisted that the US does not need help from Europe or NATO anymore. He said, I don't need their help anymore. So, the US military is keeping its guard up. The USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and another Navy ship took on supplies in the Arabian Sea. Two Air Force gas planes, the refueling planes, have also been flying over the Persian Gulf for days now, refueling. They are giving fuel to fighter jets that are protecting ships in the water. So far, the US Navy has helped 36 ships pass because they carried food and medicine. Flight tracking data also shows a lot of C-17 military cargo planes flying out of the Middle East. Because the security situation is so tricky, US embassies in Yerushalayim and Manama warned American citizens to stay careful and know where their nearest bomb shelters are. Now, quick question. What if getting healthier didn't mean giving up everything you enjoy, like bread, right? Challah, Shabbos. With Kosher Skinny Shot, the goal isn't crash diets or impossible routines. It's helping you make steady progress with a program designed to fit into real life. They guide you throughout every step of the way. All right, this is not Kosher Skinny Shot. I just realized the ad is actually Sixpo. So I just want to remind you, June 14th, there's a big expo happening in Staten Island. You don't want to miss it. Staten Island Expo. You can go visit sixpo.net and find yourself there. Let's go back to Kosher Skinny Shot, which is actually what I was advertising. I know the screens changed and everything. It's fun, isn't it? Technology. Okay, now, so, like I said, you don't have to stop eating bread or the stuff that you love. You can still go on making grills, pool parties and all that you're doing and enjoy yourself with this program, which is designed to fit into a real life. Remember, lasting results come from sustainable habits, not short-term suffering. So call them today. Without many drushas, just call them 845-456-8924. Again, I'll say it slowly. 845-456-8924. Leave your name and number and say that Onaj sent you. And as well, we're giving away a free month for one lucky winner. So you can call my number on 845-671-1775. Press 5 and you'll be the lucky winner, maybe, to win a free month with Kosher Skinny Shot. Remember, in a clear environment, don't leave the message in a noisy environment, otherwise you won't be able to be entered because I won't be able to know it's you. In Yemen, leaders of the Houthis said that they coordinated with the Axis of the Resistance, which is another terrorist group from Iran. Abdel Malik Badr al-Din al-Houthi said, "We are ready to fight the enemies in any round of escalation or development within the current situation. We are fully coordinated with the Axis of Resistance." And he says, regarding what is happening in Lebanon and in the Gaza Strip, regarding the aggressive measures of the United States and the Zionist regime, he says, and regarding what this will entail. If you understand what he says, great, because those threats we've heard before. Again, they act on the threat. Never take your enemy's threats not seriously. Always take them seriously, by the way. Just saying. Not because they actually are capable of doing what they're doing, but they're wild, they have an agenda, and they have an ideology which you will never ever be able to break. Only Hashem will be. Yad Hashem. But this is what we're living in. Israel and Lebanon have already agreed on the ceasefire, but the fighting is still happening. This is because the terror group Hezbollah did not acknowledge the peace talks. Hezbollah rockets and drones set off sirens all across northern Israel yesterday, so Israeli fighter jets attacked a dozen of the targets across southern Lebanon and the Bekaa area. That included a targeted strike east of Tyre. It's a Christian city in Lebanon. In ground combat, Captain Eitan Shmuel Lemberg was killed, Hashem Yinkendumai, a Jew, after a terrorist fired an anti-tank missile at his tank. Israeli military also hit back and killed 8 terrorists. But, honoring its agreement with Lebanese government, Israeli soldiers withdrew from the southern town of Dibin. Lebanon's official armed unit then took over and deployed their own soldiers with guns. They're also working to reopen roads previously blocked by Israeli troops. Iran, which supports Hezbollah, ordered Israel, they actually founded Hezbollah, supports Hezbollah. I'll have to tell my writer next time to remember this. But anyway, it's a joke. Ordered Israel to stop attacking Lebanon today. They told Israel to pull back past the border. But since Hezbollah is not stopping, neither is Israel. So, in Gaza, the head of Hamas received a phone call from Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. He encouraged Hamas, the leader, Khalil al-Hayya, to fight. Iran told him, also employed by Iran obviously, told him, it is very important that all their groups keep fighting together as a group. This phone call comes after Israelis killed 4 top Hamas leaders recently. Israeli attack helicopters also fired on 4 apartments targeting men in the terror group's security division. 15 people were injured. 9 were killed in total, including 5 members of the same family. And also, they suffered a lot of aftermath yesterday. Fires and broken apartments and bombs. The whole city looked like it does already look. Today is, Rabbi Isai, Chof Sivan. I don't know if you know this, but many Kehillas, especially those with roots from Hungary and parts of Eastern Europe, today is a day of saying slichas. And for some, It's even a fast day, by the way. If you're wondering why, it goes back to a very dark time in our history. The great Rabbunim of the time, including the Shach and the Taz, declared the Chuf Sivan is a day of public mourning. It remembers the tens of thousands of Yidden, Hashem Yinkoim Dumom, who were brutally murdered. Brutally, like October 7th, like, in the tens of thousands, who were brutally murdered during the Tach V'Tat massacres, which happened in 1648 and 1649. They were killed by the Cossacks, led by the infamous Jew-hater Bogdan, I was going to say Khamenei. I think it's a very similar name, but Khamenetsky. I think his name is Khamenetsky. I think so. Yeah. Khamenetsky or Khamenetsky, yeah, something like that. The Hitler of that time. Worse than Hitler. Way worse. This date actually goes back even further, by the way, because it was originally set, Chuf Sivan, was originally set to remember the Yidden in France who were killed in France. This is over 800 years ago. 800. So today, many shuls and those special slichas, the ones who say especially after Shacharis, is to keep their memory alive. And those people's memories, those who were slaughtered, Al Kiddush Hashem should help. That's it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. That's it. No more. No more. That's it. May Hashem show His hand. Yemin Hashem oisechoil. Hashem yilachem lachem. Eibshe helfen. That's it. Finished. We're done. We're done. I'm officially declaring we are done. Enough is enough. Mashiach should come. That's it. Let's go into the Shabbos. Show your light. Show us. Show them. Show the nations who we truly are. And we can help with that, by the way. By keeping Shabbos together, we can help with that, by the way. Just saying. Shabbos achas, it says. No questions asked. So if you know anyone who needs help remembering this, encourage them. A few spy stories for today, okay? John Bolton, a former U.S. National Security Advisor, admitted that he illegally kept secret national security papers by himself. He will plead guilty as part of his deal with the Justice Department, which promised to drop 17 out of 18 criminal charges. The plea deal might even let him avoid jail in exchange for a fine of $2.25 million, which he has anyway. He is expected to officially plead guilty in federal court on June 26th. An American man named Thomas Weir, Purkan II, he's called the second, that's right, pleaded guilty to being a spy for China. He admitted to collecting secret information on American targets. He also admitted for sneaking into political groups for the Chinese government purposes. Purkan, or Pauken, said that he took orders from 3 different people. His past jobs included working as an editor for the Xinhua, a news agency that run directly by the Chinese government. And yeah, 6 Republican senators joined Democrats to stop Trump from building a massive new ballroom at the White House. The problem is construction of the 90,000 square feet ballroom is already ongoing. The senators say that Trump needs permission from Congress before continuing. Judge Richard J. Leon previously said in March, quote, unless and until Congress blesses this project through statutory authorization, never used that word before, construction has to stop. But here is the good news, he says. It is not too late for Congress to authorize the continued construction of the ballroom project. Despite the vote, Trump wrote in Truth Social yesterday. That's where he takes his wars. The ballroom is coming along fantastically well. It's on me and under a budget. He also reacted to the woman who sued him, like I said before, because of the construction disturbed her morning walks. He said, the woman that sued me has absolutely no standing to do so. This should not even be a case, and it is highly damaging to our country. She is highly litigious, a serial plaintiff, and said she was bothered in her walking by the White House, but didn't state her involvement in distant other places, basically. This is his words. So why then is she involved in litigation on other developments in far distant parts of D.C.? Is she walking there too? How is she walking on a locally closed street that the Treasury building? Nobody is allowed to walk there. She never saw a building because there is no building there. Anyway, in a different ruling, the Kennedy Center is removing Trump's name from its building. Uh-oh. Workers have until June 12th to take his name off all signs, papers, and the group's website. They are doing this because an Ohio politician, Joyce Beatty, sued them. She said that only Congress has the authority to rename the Kennedy Center. The White House is using emergency wartime rules to give almost $700 million to the American coal industry. President Trump wants to sell more coal to other countries and use more of it to make electricity here at home. He used the Defense Production Act of 1950 to make it happen. This law gives President Trump the authority to tell which essential goods should be produced. The president said this money will help lower energy costs for Americans. When asked about other options like windmills, Trump said windmills cost a fortune. They break, they kill birds, and they're bad for the environment. We've pretty much cut that subsidy out, I think, he says. Energy shouldn't be a subsidy. A wild man turned a police car into a getaway car. Dallas police said that the suspect, 37-year-old Stacy Huffman, slipped his handcuffs in order to escape the arrest. Then he tried to open the passenger door. The police noticed this, stopped the car, and stepped off the vehicle to check for the passenger side, where he, And then this is when the suspect leaped forward and hijacked the police car. He later jumped out of the car, became unconscious, after which he was arrested again and taken to the hospital. Huffman was charged with driving an invalid license, possession of a controlled substance, and unlawfully possession of a firearm. And now he was given 2 additional charges, bringing the total to 5. Wild criminals in the United States of America. Let's continue. I'm going to let this video play for you so you see what's going on. President Vladimir Zelensky is asking for a face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. I mentioned already his letter yesterday. This would be their first meeting since the war started in 2022. We're talking 5 years into war almost going into the 5th year now. Sorry, 4 years, but yeah. Zelensky released an open letter on Thursday asking to hold peace talks in a neutral country. Now, he said he wants Switzerland. Sitting down and talking in person is the only way to end this long, unnecessary conflict. Zelensky told Putin not to be afraid to look for a way out of the war. On the other hand, Putin also wants to talk about peace. He said that Trump's peace proposals could be a basis for a deal with Ukraine. He explained, quote, "This is a proposal and requires compromise, and compromise for both sides, for Russia too. And we generally agreed with those compromises. We need to convince the Ukrainian side of this, and that's it," he says. "In general, I believe that they can well form the basis of an agreement between Russia and Ukraine and can put an end to this conflict." Well, might I mention another thing that Putin said? He feels that he's being strapped for cash. The sanctions that they put on him is hurting him. He admitted to that he's running out of time. But he also said that, a new statement, that Ukraine cannot have a nuclear weapon. Ukraine will now receive additional financial support from the US, like I said. This is after Washington lawmakers passed a major bill to send security money. It allows up to $8 billion in loans, military gear, and money to rebuild after the war. It also places new financial penalties on Russia. Even though Trump hates the bill and didn't want it to be passed, he admitted America plays a big role in the war. Now, he said, without our military and without our equipment, Ukraine wouldn't be alive to fight today. The U.S. placed heavy financial penalties on the president of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also punished 5 Cuban groups, including one called ICAP. Rubio said, you know the guy with the shoes? The guy that was complimented on his shoes that he received from Trump? Yeah, said that these groups help run operations for the Cuban government and that they are connected to an illegal network in the U.S. Reports also asked and said, obviously, if penalties are meant to make Cuban government fall apart. But Trump replied, no, we just want them to be a nicely run country again that can feed its people. He also said, quote, we'll handle Cuba after we take care of the Iran issue. A nasty pest called the New World screwworm was found in American animals for the first time in 60 years. The Department of Agriculture announced that the young calf in Texas tested positive for the bug. The screwworm is a dangerous fly that lays its eggs in warm blood animals, and the worms eat the living tissue. Now, ranchers near Houston and the beef industry are worried about losing their cows. The Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, CDCP, whatever, says that it is very rare for this bug to infect a human. But if it does, it can cause bad sores that require surgery. The government's emergency plan will use quarantines and medicine to fight this bug. Workers are researching and searching for more of the bug, all while releasing infertile flies to stop them from multiplying. The bug problem comes at a very bad time. The United States beef supply is the smallest it has been in 75 years. A massive drought A massive drought previously forced farmers to sell off all their cows, and expensive feed has made it harder to grow the herds back. Last month, the price of ground beef hit a record $6.89 a pound, which is obviously the non-kosher ones. All right. The sun, yes, I'm talking about the sun, had 3 massive explosions in less than 24 hours. These blasts shot a giant cloud of energy straight at Earth, at the world, and it is expected to hit our planet today. Scientists call this a coronal mass ejection. It happens when a faster explosion on the sun catches up with a slower one, and they combine into a single huge wave. The event caused minor radio blackouts on Earth. That means a heavy magnetic storm is hitting our atmosphere right now. Because of the intense space weather, the northern lights will be visible much further down south than usual. Now, people might be able to see the lights across 23 different states, including New York, New Hampshire, and Vermont. A very interesting thing. All right, why is Kosher Skinny Shot behind me? I know why, because they need me to remind you again that you should sign up with them. Why didn't you sign up yet? You should probably do that. That's the reason why. See, Hashem works in wondrous ways. Or maybe that has to do with the explosion of the sun. Why my technology is actually... so let's get rid of it. And for now, because you want to... Yeah, okay, there we go. I'm back in town. Okay, now let's talk about technology, shall we? The Apple AirPods, the listening device, may soon be included with built-in cameras. The idea is to allow AI voice assistants to see what the user is looking at with those things instead of wearing glasses. Though the device could give walking directions or even look inside your fridge to tell you what to make for dinner, a small light will turn on when the cameras are active. But the product won't hit the market too soon. While the hardware is ready, the visual software is not working well enough yet. Apple executives are very worried about major privacy risks. They know that people might feel a little bit uncomfortable if they think nearby earbuds are recording them. Scheiß of mine. Not so much fun after all. Yeah. With a little camera. Alright, let's talk about technology, okay? Because Protobyte, well, I know Protobyte is there for you when you need to build your software, when you need to build programs or an app. You can spend all you want on AI trying it on your own. But like I said, if you're not an expert, you're going to waste time and very valuable money as well that you could make doing the things that you're good at. So you could call and spend the money in the right places by calling 347-354-1237. I'm going to make a challenge on you. Whoever calls Protobyte to actually build something with them and lets me know, okay, by leaving a message on my number, 845-671-1775, okay, and you leave a message on 5 saying, I set up an order with Protobyte already, you're going to let me know, you will enter to win a raffle of money. Money. The reason I'm doing this, obviously, small businesses have to help each other, and that's what we're doing. So, how much money? I will let you know, based on the number of calls, $1 for each call. If it's up to 1,000, then I do get up to 1,000 messages a day, so you can imagine, it might be $1,000. You'll be very lucky. So tell your friends, tell everyone, whoever orders a website production or a software production by Protobyte businesses I'm talking to might enter to win up to $1,000. You never know. Depending on the number of calls I get, that will accumulate $1 per call. Listen to that. It's an interesting one. All right. YS Capital Group, 718-831-2168. I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm going to do it with all my sponsors, okay? So anyone who calls them and says that they actually initiated a call, not just call them for nothing, but you call them to actually do a deal with them. Somebody took a loan with them, and you can enter to win a raffle, which I'll give you for each call that comes in. You'll all be entered into the same thing. So again, mention that you actually called one of my sponsors. It can be YS Capital Group, it can be Protobyte. Okay, so 718-831-2168. $1 per call. But it actually has to be verified, and I'm going to verify it. So each and every one of you, so remember, it might take some time. I'm going to give it a month, okay? 718-831-2168. You can win $1,000 cash, you never know. Maybe we'll close it at $1,000, but I'm going to count per dollar, maybe more, you never know. I'm taking a big risk right now because I know how many calls I get per day. If you know how many calls I get per day, you'll see. Talking about 60,000 listeners that listen to me on YouTube and English. I know it's a little bit less than you see. You don't see those numbers here because my main audience is on the Yiddish side of things. That's why I'm also going to be announcing this offer. So yeah, you're going to be part of that. All right. And then we have Arrive Express, 845-622-1111, 845-254-1111. Might you ask, if you called an Arrive Express taxi, if you could do that, it's a little bit easier. So it's not really fair to those who have to, go to Wise Capital Group and Protobyte and Kosher Skinny Shot. which is a separate offer I have there, but also, yes, also very important, both kosher skinny shot, all the services that require a little bit more effort to buy and to do, that's what I'm talking about. Arrival Express, unfortunately, I will not be able to enter into the raffle, because you can imagine, I know you're booking a taxi with Arrival Express. It is what it is. But yeah, have yourselves a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos, and we'll see each other by Ezra Hashem. Oh, I forgot the click. Here we go. Yeah, the click. My brother Paltiel, an amazing guy, Baruch Hashem, he designed this on his own, and I know he's very, very tech savvy. He's been thinking about this for years. All he wants is people to know where there's a minyan, where there's kosher food in the world, and this is why he designed it. And it's a great bot. A WhatsApp bot, 848-480-8677. The SMS had a little bit of issues. We will talk about that. But yes, in the meantime, have yourselves a wonderful Shabbos. We'll see each other by Ezra Shabbos Baruch next week.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours. Powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.